On November 26, 2025, President Bola Tinubu addressed the nation, and it was a big one. He made an announcement that really signals a major shift in how Nigeria is tackling its security challenges. So let's break down exactly what he said and what it all means for the future of security in the country.
Right from the start, the president didn't mince words. His address kicked off with this very direct, very stark declaration. It set a really serious and urgent tone for everything that was about to follow. This wasn't just another policy update. This was a call to action. And there you have it, the heart of the announcement. A nationwide security emergency has officially been declared across all 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory. So, the big questions are, what exactly pushed things to this point, and what does this emergency declaration actually involve? So, why now? You're probably asking that. Well, the president's address made it pretty clear this wasn't a decision that came out of nowhere. It's a direct response to a security situation that has, frankly, been getting worse on the ground. Okay, so what is a national security emergency in simple terms? Well, think of it like this. It gives the government the authority to take decisive and pretty unusual steps. It's the government formally saying, hey, what we're currently doing isn't enough and we need to ramp things up now.
And this wasn't a vague announcement. The president was very specific about what triggered this. He pointed to recent attacks on what are called soft targets, civilian places with limited security in these 6 states. We're talking about Kebbi, Borno, Zamfara, and others. This really highlights just how widespread this problem has become and why a truly national strategy is now on the table.
All right, so what's the first part of this new national strategy? It's clear and simple. A massive increase in the number of security personnel all across the country. The administration's immediate answer to insecurity is more presence, more people.
And here's the headline number for the police force. The plan is to recruit a total of 50,000 new police personnel. That is a significant number, and it's obviously intended to drastically boost the force's capacity.
Now, what's really key here is both the scale and the speed. The government is adding another 20,000 recruits on top of the 30,000 they already had planned. And to fast-track their training, they've authorized using National Youth Service Corps camps as temporary training depots. I mean, that alone tells you just how urgent they see this situation.
And it's not just the police. The Nigerian Army has also been ordered to start recruiting more personnel. The DSS is deploying its trained forest guards effective immediately and hiring more, with the goal of flushing out terrorists from their forest hideouts. On top of that, officers who are currently on VIP protection details are going to get some quick, intensive training and then be redeployed to areas that need them most.
But look, this plan is about more than just adding personnel. This declaration also kicks off some major strategic shifts and even opens the door to new laws designed to get at the root causes of insecurity.
This brings up one of the biggest questions coming out of the president's address, because the plan goes way beyond just federal forces.
Now, this is a potentially massive long-term shift. For years, the whole debate over state-level policing has been a political hot potato. It often gets stalled because of fears that state governors could misuse those forces. But now the president has formally tasked the National Assembly with reviewing the laws. This could finally allow states to set up their own police. It's a huge deal, and it could completely reshape Nigeria's security architecture.
The plan also takes a direct shot at the persistent and deadly clashes between herders and farmers. The president laid out a very clear 3-part directive. First, an end to open grazing. Second, a call for all herder associations to surrender any illegal weapons. And third, a firm push towards ranching as the way forward, which will be facilitated by the new livestock ministry.
The president was also very clear that the government cannot do this alone. The entire strategy really depends on what you'd call a whole-of-society approach. He called on institutions and everyday citizens to play their part.
And that call for a collective effort came with some very specific advice. State governments are being asked to reconsider the safety of building boarding schools in isolated areas. Religious institutions like mosques and churches are being urged to seek security protection. And for everyday citizens, the message is simple. Remain calm, but stay vigilant. And please cooperate with authorities by reporting anything that seems suspicious.
This quote really captures the spirit of that call to action, doesn't it? It's all about reframing national security, not just as a government responsibility, but as a collective duty for every single citizen.
So you put all these measures together. What's the administration's vision for Nigeria's security going forward? Well, the end of the address really focused on 2 key ideas: resolve
and unity.
A very strong message was sent to the perpetrators of all this violence. The president affirmed that the government has the determination to keep the country safe and basically warned them not to test its resolve.
And the address ended on this powerful note of unity. It was a call for all Nigerians to stand together, framing this fight against insecurity as a collective defense of the nation's values and its future.
So there we have it, the declaration, the new recruitment numbers, the major strategic shifts. It is an ambitious and multifaceted plan, no question about it. But the ultimate question remains, how will all these top-level decisions actually change daily life and translate into real safety for people all across the country? That, right there, is the challenge that lies ahead.